Hi everyone, my name's Anita, I'm the Violet Stitcher and this is Floss Tube number 38 and it's a finish WIP parade for 2024. So I'm going to go through all the projects that I touched during 2024. Warning, there are 40 of them, so this might take a while. I'm going to be pausing when I go and pick up projects that are on the wall to show you, and then putting them back on the wall so I don't damage them, all of that. So, but hopefully you won't notice that too much. So that's all fine. Right, let me just check that we are actually recording and you can hear me. Yes, good. Okay, cool. So just a few stats to start off with. Oh dear, sorry. So this year I had 21 new starts as opposed to last year, which I had 18. I finished 18 projects. Last year I finished 17, so about the same. I fully finished 23 projects, and I'm counting ornaments as separate fully finishes. Last year I finished 18, so I was very close to finishing 24, which is what my aim was. I'll talk about my previous goals as I go through. Most of them, most of them I did accomplish, but yeah, that one I didn't. And as you'll notice that my last WIP I am very close to a finish, and it may happen today. Today is New Year's Eve. So yeah, where was I? So number of WIPs I had at the start of this year, it was 19, and start of last year was 18. I'm ending the year with 22 WIPs. And the total stitches I did this year is around 148,000, as opposed to last year, which was around 179,000. So that's about 30,000 stitches fewer than last year. And I'll talk a bit about that, why I think that is a bit later on. Apologies if I'm moving around. I've got information on 2 screens. So yeah. And as I said, I touched 40 different projects. So let me show you a bit more of that. Just get my... Also, I have notioned everything this year, so I have the ability to show you a few graphs. And so I'm going to do that. Let me just find the right page. Oh, everything's going a little bit slowly today, so that's great. There we go. Okay. So the first graph I want to show you is the total stitches I did over the year, split by month. So all 40 projects that I worked on are shown along the bottom. Oldest is We Can All Shine. Newest is La Befana. I think I'm saying that right. Over on the right hand side. And you can see that the vast majority of the stitches that I put into the projects were Dragon Clans and Wind in the Willows and Dragon Beauty. By far, I put the most stitches into those. Wind in the Willows, over 40,000 stitches went into that. And Dragon Clans was finished off in April with, that's probably around 27,000 stitches, something like that. With all the others, a medium amount of stitches. Some of them got very few. Yeah, we'll go into that a bit later. So, and then I've got my next chart, which is fascinating, I'm sure, is stitches I did per month on which projects. So for some reason, Google has, no, it wasn't Google, was it? No, it was Google Sheets, has put the project round the other way. So the oldest is at the bottom in the key and the newest is at the top. You can see the red bars between January and April. I spent the most time on Dragon Clans trying to finish that. And then I switched to spending the most time on Wind in the Willows. That makes sense because those were my focus projects, and I was doing around 200 stitches approximately. I was trying to every day to get those moving forward. And the blue bars that you can see continuing through the year, that is Dragon Beauty, which I did manage to finish. But you can see that on the whole, the number of stitches that I did decreased through the year. Even December, when I've had quite some time off, is much lower than January, for instance. And I didn't really have any time off in January. And I think the reason for this is May, wonderful stitchy month. I looked at what happened in May, and I'm not really sure. I did have a week off where I was camping, and I do remember stitching, but it wasn't a great deal. Anyway, obviously had a nice stitchy month in May. So yeah, I think what's happened is work. The amount of work I have to do has definitely increased over the year. So that has meant less stitchy time. And also, maybe a couple of things. So I look after my granddaughter on Fridays. She is obviously getting older. That's how that works. And doesn't sleep as much. Last year, I just carried her around and she would fall asleep in the park and I would sit and do a little bit of cross stitch. Can't do that anymore. She's very much more active. These days, sometimes she doesn't even have a nap. So I don't get that opportunity to stitch while looking after her. I mean, that's fine. Obviously, the joys of being a grandparent they change, don't they? So that's fine. And also, I stopped stitching in front of the TV. So I think that is why stitching has decreased through the year. And I might, obviously, work-life balance is a continual struggle, and I will try and address that. But I'm not sure there's a great deal I can do. I might start stitching in front of the TV again, especially my oldest WIP, We Can All Shine, because that is on Ada, the count is large, and I reckon I can do that in front of the TV. So I might change that. But otherwise, I'm quite happy with how much I stitched over the year. Right, so that's that for the stats. On to the WIPs. So, I have couple more things to say. So at the beginning of the year, I had some goals to finish, I think it was 10 items. Obviously, I did manage most of those. There was one that I didn't manage to finish that I wanted to finish. Two, I think I didn't manage to finish that I wanted to finish. But all the others got finished and some more that I didn't expect. But as a result of that, vast majority of my remaining WIPs now are less than 50% done, which means that for the coming year, I'm not going to get anywhere near as many WIPs finished, as many finishes, which is fine because actually what I want to do is concentrate more on my full coverages, as I vaguely explained in my last video. But that probably didn't make any sense. But hopefully, as I go through the year, it will make sense. Anyway, so I will go from oldest to newest, and I will show a preview picture of where it was at the beginning of the year. Obviously, those that are new starts this year will not have a previous picture. I'll just show you where I'm at. Okay, so starting with my oldest WIP, which is on Ada. And I'm happy to say that I stitched on every single WIP this year, so I will not be retiring any of them. Let me just find. Right, so We Can All Shine is my probably around 2018, maybe 2017. I don't know because I didn't keep accurate notes at that point. But this is there we go. That is where it was at the beginning of the year. Let me just pull it out. So this is a very old bothy kit that you can no longer get. It's part of the Gorgeous Girls range. Yep. And I put 1,322 stitches on it. I don't really like stitching on it, but next year, I do have some goals to. I hope this to be a finish. It might not be, but that's my hope, and I'm going to turn it to a project bag. Oh, let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Oh, here you go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Yep. So she's got some back stitching and stuff to go on. And this is where she's at. So I'm almost done, pretty much. And I'm not really sure how far I am through this. Maybe this is more than, I really hope this is more than 50%. Yeah. But I don't know because it's a paper pattern, and although I have put it into markup, I've put it into markup in an odd way over several pages, so I can't really tell. So yeah, expect to see a lot more of her next year because she's my oldest WIP, so she's getting a lot more stitches next year. Yeah, and we'll be done with you. Good. Right, so that's the oldest one. The next one is Dragon Clans, which I am pleased if you. Oh yeah, welcome. Sorry if you. This is the first time you're seeing me, and I know that a lot of new people tend to tune into WIP parades. Welcome. This is my channel about cross stitch. In case you haven't figured that out, I try and do a video once a month. Yeah. That's it really, isn't it? Okay, so Dragon Clans, I started this in August 2021. This is what it looked like at the beginning of the year. Sorry, I have a lot of projects that start with dragon. There we go. And this is what it looked like at the beginning of the year. So I was pretty close to a finish. There was that bit at the top of the yellow dragon at the bottom there, and there was a row at the bottom. Oh no, is that the bottom of the... No, I had finished the bottom, and there was a top row of stitches to be done. Let me just pause and I will get you the fully finished. So I'm back again, and let me just remove that one. There we go. So this is a finish, which if you watch my last Floss tube, you will have seen, but I'm showing you again because I like to show it off. Also, I have a giveaway in my last Floss tube, so if you're interested in free stuff, go back and watch that one, and please enter. I will be drawing that probably the beginning of February when I do my next normal Floss tube. So yeah, that is all done and on the wall. I'm just going to go and put it back. One moment. Okay, welcome back. So the next one is Wind in the Willows, which you will have seen a lot of if you've seen any of my other videos, because I have been concentrating on that one. And at the beginning of the year, oh, I didn't say how many stitches I put to Dragon Clans. Dragon Clans is, I put 28,000 stitches into that. I finished it in Stitch North. When I went in April, that was fantastic. That is an Anne Stokes design, unfortunately unavailable now. It was charted by Paine Free Crafts, and I did that 1/1 25 count easy guide. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. So sorry, Wind in the Willows. Wind in the Willows was a stitch along by Paine Free Crafts. You can still get it. And let me just find. This is what it should look like when it's finished. 2022 stitch along by Chris Dunn. Huge. Don't know why I started that, but anyway, started it, so I'll finish it. And this is where I was at the beginning of the year. So I've done a significant amount on this. I have stitched 40,000 almost 40,460, well, almost exactly 40,465 stitches, and I'm now, I mean, I think I'm at 55% now, but it's a bit hard to tell because even though I've got it digital, it's in lots of different parts, so I can't quite tell. So this is where it is at now. Let's get this right round. There we go. So I think you'll agree, a significant amount of progress, and I have a vague hope that I will finish this next year, but I don't know. I'm not sure. There's a lot of stitches there left to do still, but we will see. I'm still, so the last bit of stitching, if you saw my last video, let me just remove that. I've been stitching on Mole. His head is so big, it takes forever. I have managed to do most of the over one stitching is complete. His glasses are still causing me some grief. And as you see, I do the back stitching as I go along because otherwise it would just, I wouldn't want to do it. And please look, it got to the top and it was exactly right. Quite chuffed with that. Got that in the right place. So yeah, that's that one. It will be finished one day. If not next year, it'll be January 26th, I hope. But you know, who knows what the year will bring. Who knows how many new starts I'll have. Right, so that's that one. Let me put that in. Just stick that over there, yeah. So the next one, that is one, well, that is on 25 count. Bits of it are over 2, bits of it are over 1. If you're doing that, I would recommend a smaller count, otherwise it looks as large as mine. Unless you want it large, in which case, go for it. And I did that on a Zweigart Sparkle Snow because I like opalescent. My next oldest one that I started on the 27th of June 2022, so still in 2022, is Mixed Berries Dragons. Yes, that's right. I forget how many berries and dragons you're supposed to have in that title. Yep, this is what it will hopefully look like when I'm finished. It's by Stanley Morrison and it's charted by Paine Free Crafts. I think you can still get this. I am doing it without the background. Inspired by Kaylee Tent Stitch. Ditch the background. And let me find it. I have this in, oh yeah. Oh, I have it in order. That's surprisingly organised of me. So, what did I say? Yes, I put a measly, actually this one got the most of all the remaining ones, apart from Dragon Beauty, 2,350 stitches into this one. Now this is one of my favourites. I love this. Right, this is where it looked like at the beginning of last year. So poor Strawberry Dragon didn't even have a head. And lots of hanging threads. The hanging threads part hasn't changed. But Strawberry Dragon now has a head. So just bring that a bit closer for you. There we go. Yeah. Oh, is that in focus? Don't focus on me. There, that's better. Right, cool. So my hopes is that I will concentrate more on this next year. It is full coverage-ish. Although for you Puritans out there, I will say it's not full coverage because I'm leaving out the background, which is complicated, let me tell you. I often go around the edge going, do I put that stitch in? Do I not? Anyway, I figure I can always put extra stitches in. It's a bit more tricky to take them out. So yeah. Anyway, more on that hopefully next year. More of a focus. If you haven't seen it, let me, say to me, Anita, where are your full coverage pieces? Why are you not stitching on them? You said you would. So yeah. And the another one from 2022 is Fantasy Dragon. Not a full coverage, but still hanging around. It's not even that big, although it is deceptively large. So Fantasy Dragon was from World of Cross Stitching magazine. It's charted. It's my oldest Anne Stokes. And it is a lot of green, And I started this one with Lindsay from Blushing Pink Stitches. She has since UFO'd hers, and I'm not surprised. This is why it's taking me so long. I've lost it. It begins with F, Fantasy Dragon. There we go. So this is what it looked like at the beginning of the year. Oh, let me show you what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. Sorry about the rustling. There we go. That is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. All green. I had considered changing it to purple, but it's got an oak leaf on its tail, so it had to be green, really. So, yeah. So the thing that's slowing me down on this one is it is deceptively large. I'm not sure how far I'm through. Probably around halfway. And how many stitches have I put on it so far? I think I've got around 9,600 stitches left. Still a ridiculous number. So this is where I'm at. Trying to backstitch as I go along. Yeah, I put in 1,393 stitches, so not a great deal. So this is one of my oldest from 2022. So hopefully we'll focus more on this one next year. That is my plan. Probably fewer finishes, more focusing on old projects. So we'll battle through that one. It'll look great when it's done. It's just a struggle. Right. Next one is a finish. So Dragon Pancakes, which is by Nadezhda Kazarina, which is Stitch by Soul on Etsy. I don't know if this is still available or not. Didn't look, sorry. Dragon Pancakes looked like this at the start of the year. I put another 806 stitches into it and I finished. This is my finished project. If I was to do this again, I would... What would I do? Probably do it over one. But there we go. Never mind. It sits proudly on my dragon wall. Yay! And I backed it with some lovely strawberry fabric, which I got from some was it Knitting and Stitching that we went to, Susanna? I can't remember. Somewhere where I was hunting for strawberry fabric and I finally found some. But yeah, that is that one. I'm just going to go and put this back. Oh no, I'm not. I'm just going to leave this here actually. The next one, another 2022 start in November, just before my birthday, I started Dragon Beauty. Dragon Beauty is by Anne Stokes, charted by ThreadPickerz. Oh, I don't need to show you what it looks like when it's finished because, spoiler, it's finished. This is what it looked like at the start of the year, so hardly anything done. And I put a huge 21,450 stitches into this one. And as I showed on my last floss tube, she's done. Yay. Let's bring her a bit closer. Oh, let me take that one off. There we go. She's on sparkly fabric by Chromatic Alchemy, 1/1, 25 count. I will get her framed next year and put her on my dragon wall. And I was talking to my friend Bridget about getting a tattoo next year. So we are going to find a tattoo artist, and I'm going to have this and she's going to have hares and moon, I think. That's what she said. So that's cool. Ooh. So that is that one. Right. So I was on clearly on an Anne Stokes kick, although that is a theme throughout all my stitching. I started Little Helpers, which was, in December, appropriately. This is what Little Helpers looks like when it's finished. Here we go. A lovely Christmas dragon one. And I didn't think I was much of a seasonal stitcher, but I only really bring this out in December. But that is going to change next year. It's going to get more stitches on it. Otherwise, it's never going to get finished. So this is by Anne Stokes, charted by Paine Free Crafts. You can't get this anymore. This is where I was at the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, that has not changed much. I put a measly 1,500 stitches into it, and I'm about 5% in now. I don't even need to take it off the Q-snap to show you. Yeah. Ooh. There you go. Ugh. Let me just move that. You can see I did some stitches. There we go. So, yeah. So hopefully more on this next year. I have a page finish, which I think I finished before anyway. I'm moving into this, more of the Christmas tree over here. And then there's a lot of fireplace, which is going to be a bit dull. So yeah. There's that one. Did I say everything about it? 1/1, 25 count, easy grid. Okay. And that's all my 2022 projects. So moving on to 2023, I decided my new year, new start would be the enormous Dragons of the Sabbat. Let me just show you what that's going to look like, should anyone actually manage to finish it. I've seen quite a few people stitch on this on FlossTube. Almost everyone is further along than I am. This is where I was at the start of the year, yes. Started in 2023. So in a year, that is what I've managed to do. No dragons in sight. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that. That was mine. I made this bag, so it's my own shoddy sewing. Right, let me just remove the Q-snap at the bottom so that I can show you. Oh, and I've got a needle attached as well. Okay. Right, so obviously you can see the pentagram at the bottom, and then I moved up to do the circle underneath the top dragon. So that is as far as I've got now, and that is 2%. Although I'm not doing the background, so it is slightly more than that, but probably not by much. Stitching on black 25 count even weave is a challenge, especially with the darkest of blue. which is, see that there, that is not black. That is very, very dark blue, probably 939. Yeah, there's quite a lot of that. So, but hopefully next year I am just going to stitch on the dragon at the top. I'm going to move this key snap, and then occasionally stitch down a bit. I'm probably never going to finish this one, so this is just enjoying the process fully. Yeah, bury this one with me. All right, let me just put the Q snap. Is there any point? There's no point. Let me put that back in the bag. I'll sort that out later. Needle minder. Oh yeah, I can't zip it because I broke it. Okay, yeah, so that is by Anne Stokes, charted by Paine Free Crafts. You cannot get that one anymore. That's the problem with Anne Stokes, is that they usually, I think it's because she does her licensing in a different manner. They usually only keep them for a year, and then chart new ones, which is really bad for my bank account. So the next one I started was Sky Queen. I started this with Nithya from Daybreak Stitchery, and right, yep, this is also Anne Stokes, also from World of Cross Stitching, and this is what it will look like when it's done. Okay, this is where I was at the beginning of the year. I am now, I think, at around 58%, and I put in 2,289 stitches, so not too bad. And this possibly will get finished next year, or at least quite close, hopefully. Let me just move my dragon needle minder. Dragon note, sorry, it's a dinosaur. So she's got started the second wing. Oh, sorry, I hope you can't hear that. That's my stomach growling. Itchy nose, yep. So I, yeah, put a fair amount in. There's a lot of lovely purples in this. I'm looking forward to getting the head done, and I should really start the back stitching. Otherwise, you know, we'll still be here next year going, why have I've just got the back stitching to do. So yeah, that's that one. I am going to pause now and, oh no, I can show you one more. That's right. Cool. Yeah, I've done this before, totally. So next one I started was in April 2023, and that was Red Cabbage Sprite, and that was probably, I don't think that was at the Nora Corbett. Well, maybe it was. Anyway, it's by Nora Corbett, and I might have started at the Mirabilia retreat, but I'm not sure. All right, what did I say it was called? Red Cabbage. Let me find it. Here we go. So this is where it was at the beginning of the year, and I have finished it, but not fully finished it. Here she is with all her sparkly loveliness. This is 28 count, sorry. Chromatic Alchemy. You can't get it anymore. I love this fabric. Stop dying. Anyway, the colours on this are lovely. She sparkles beautifully, and I will fully finish this at some point next year. I need to find some nice backing fabric. Maybe with cabbages. I'm going to find some fabric with red cabbages on it. Doesn't really matter. It only goes on the back anyway, but, you know, it amuses me. Right, so the next one is a chatelaine. So I started this, like 5 days later in 2023 in April. And this is where I was at the beginning of the year. Let me just pause you and I will go and get it. Hello, I'm back. Right, so this is a finish. Oh, let me undo. There we go. Right, so I got this finished, fully finished very recently. And yeah, that's all I have to say really. It's on 28 count, did I say that? Something by Chromatic Alchemy. You can't get that anymore. Just bring it closer. Very happy with this one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm going to pause again and put that away. Okay, where were we? So, the next one I started was Dragon with Lighthouse. That was in July 2023. So I don't have this one, but it was finished. Oh no, let me show you where I was at the start of the year. Not much of a start at the start of the year, but I finished it. Oh my word, my stomach. And that is what it looks like. I think this was my first cording matching the thread, which I was quite happy about. So I gave that away to a friend. Yep. And then, oh yes, so then I started my first Heaven and Earth, like 7 days later, in July 2023. And this Spirit of Flight, it is designed by Josephine Wall, and this is what it will look like should I ever finish it. Hopefully I will. I do like this one. I made myself a project bag with Josephine Wall fabric to match. That's very nice. This is a max colour. It has the most colours of any of my projects. 237 colours. Bonkers. And let me show you where I got to at the beginning of the year. Yeah, not very much. And it got 2,053 stitches this year, which isn't too bad. About the same as most of my projects. And that's where I'm at. And you will have seen this my last episode. So hopefully, let me just hide my face so it focuses properly. So yeah, I hope to get more of this done because it is a full coverage and they need more focus, otherwise they'll never get finished. Yep. She has a token dragon on her, just because there's no dragons in this project. And well, most of my Niederminds are dragons, let's face it. Right. Oh, then I started another Chatelaine. So yeah, okay, I'm only 2% into that one. It's poor. So yeah, hopefully more next year. So yeah, I started a Chatelaine on the 28th of July 2023. That was probably at the Chatelaine retreat. And it is Octopus Treasure Garden. Let me show you a poor picture of what it looked like when it's... No, it's not garden. Oh, every time. Treasure Cave. Octopuses are in caves, not gardens. This is vaguely what it should look like when it's finished. At the start of this year, I had managed to complete the border. I'm going to have to take this out of this Q-snap so that you can actually see all of it. So, apologies, this will take a while. So I'd done the border, but not really. I think mostly it was normal cross stitches. Where's my needle? Oh, it's okay. Sitting in there. I'm busy doing some Krennic by the looks of it. But I did a fair amount over the retreat, both this year, and I finished all of those blackwork waves around the edge, and then I felt that I could get going with it again. Have I got that the right way around? Yes. So this is what it looks like now. Sorry about the hanging threads, that's how I do it. So I've gone, all the waves are, and it's very crumpled, isn't it? Yep, all the waves are done, and I'm moving into I've done the jellyfish at the top, no beading yet. Doing the coral down the sides, and I've started the octopus in the middle. Oh, I can't wait to get back to this one. So I've got 2 Chatelaine retreats next year, and this will be coming along with me. And yep, hopefully I might even finish this one this year. Maybe a finish. That'll be cool. So yeah, I do love working on this. It's very shiny and blingy. Right, just put this away. Sorry, otherwise there'll be even more mess in my room than usual. As you can see, you know, I keep my room very tidy. Yeah. Right. Just check that the zip wasn't going to come straight off. Yeah. Okay, that's that one. And then I started Bristol Berries 2, I think at the Bristol Stitchery Retreat. And that was in September 2023. And do I have what it looked like when I started? Oh, whoops, sorry about that. I don't. But here it is finished, which I don't have. So I finished this one to give away as a small exchange at Stitch North, and sitting next to that is also, what was that called, mini bottle with red dragon, which I gave to Katie Tent Stitch as a gift at Stitch North. So that's why they're both sitting there together. Also a start, so the mini bottle I started at the beginning of this year. So yeah, that's that one. Then I started S Mermaid for my friend on the 1st of October 2023. S Mermaid, where are you? Here we go. That's what it looked like at the beginning of the year. Not much at all. And then I finished it. And this is what it looks like, because I gave it away, so I can't show you. I made it into my first... Was it my first standing flat fold finish? I think it was. Quite chuffed with that. It worked. Was that the first one, or did I? No, I think this is the second. Sorry, that's a lie. I think I'd finished one before then. Yes, because I did Bridges. That's right. I remember now. Okay, so that's that finish. And then I started Dark Queen of the Sea. Oh, sorry, S Mermaid. I'll give you details. This is by Nora Corbett. Letters, mermaid letters, something like that. You can still get those. Although it is a bit tricky sometimes to find the letters that you want. But usually secondhand market is full of them, or 123 Stitch, or your nearest local stitch place. Yeah. So then I started Dark Queen of the Sea, my first Autumn Lane stitchery, for my birthday 2023, and we got to, by the beginning of this year, it was, oh, let me show you what it looks like when it's finished. It's approximately look like this, but there are options to make changes, which I haven't really got to those options yet. This is where I got to at the beginning of the year. And I was a bit worried there. Where are my threads? But it's okay. They're on floss drops. Right. It's still folded up from when I last showed you. this is where I am at now. So I have done the fish, and I've started the next fish, and I'm onto the coral. No, it's not coral, is it? It's well, her body really, corally wavy body, and down moving into the tentacles, because I know there's a lot of purple here. I mean, I don't mind stitching purple, but it's all going to be chunks of one colour, so I was trying to get into this bit as well as moving up to the top to get them more interesting. At some point she needs a face. Yeah. So that is that. I did 1,570 stitches on here. So yeah, don't know how much more this, they're probably about the same next year. Yeah. Then we move into, oh no, right at the end of 2023, I started Zarya Fairies out of, let me close that one, out of a fairy book that my friend gave me. Do I have, yes, this is what it looked like at the start, a minuscule start. And I finished that recently and gave it to her for her birthday. And this is what it looks like. So I tried to make the fairies all lots of different colours and different skin variations to match the people in her life. So yeah, although I don't know if she knows a redhead. Maybe a potential person in her future life. There we go. So yeah. Then we move into 2024. So I have no before pictures because these are new starts, and I will show you. So I started a New Year, New Start with Reindeer from Cottage Garden Samplings. I did show you this in my last one, so we won't dwell. Oh, it's all out of the Q-snap this time. Oh, so I might show you the... So, oh, itchy nose, right. So these are the previous two that I've done before, and that is Reindeer on the end. Getting a start. Half a reindeer. He is at, 30%. I put 1,507 stitches into him. Her, isn't it? That's right. That's what we learned from Just So Sherry. It's a her. And yeah, I love these patterns. I'm not sure how much I'll stitch on it because I'm focusing on the older ones. But hopefully, I hope I will touch it because it's on WIP Go, so therefore we'll get at least 500 stitches into it. Yeah, no doubt I'll fall in love with the new woodland ones that they're bringing out. There we are. So, and so this year was the Chinese Year of the Dragon, started in February, and as a result I said that I would start as many dragon projects as possible, and you will see that I will do a dragon wrap up probably in my next Floss tube showing all the dragon ones, but you will notice a high proportion of dragon starts coming up this year. So my first one was a little bit early, and I started it on the 13th of January because Climbing Goat Designs put in a mystery project. Stitch along, that's the word, there we go. And I still haven't updated this picture, sorry. Dragons, a field guide, and this is sort of what it all looked like. There are some more dragons in the gaps. It is finished. This is where I got to, oh no before pictures. Drat. So this is where I'm at now. Not a great deal of progress. I did 999 stitches. And there we are. You will have seen this on my last floss tube because I only... Oh, not sure what happened there. I only did this recently. Just bring it in. There isn't really much to show though. Yep, I'm doing that 1/1, 25 count. There are some quarter-ish stitches, so that is interesting. And then I started then I started mini bottle with Red Dragon, which I've already shown you. Then that was in February, and then a couple of days later on the 10th of February, which was the beginning of Chinese New Year, I started HBY Dragons by Modern Folk Embroidery. They have since brought out a smaller dragon, and I have a measly start of 501 stitches. There we go. I am doing this... What thread am I doing this with? Oh, black raspberry jam. There we go. I'm going to need to buy another one of those. Black raspberry jam, and the fabric isn't Chromatic Alchemy, so I can tell you what it is. Oh, hang on. If I click the right button. Oh. No, it's not very useful though. It's by ThreadPickerz, 25 count even weave, and words. Doesn't have a name, but it is purple. Yeah. Oh, let me show you what it's going to look like when it's finished. What did I call it? HBY Dragons. There you go. That is what it's going to look like when it's finished. It's quite large. Oh, my projects are sliding on the floor. Right. Yeah, so I am only at, let me just close that, 4%. Oh, that's going to take me a while, isn't it? So, yep. And I'm going to need to pause here and grab the rest of my projects. So, be back with you in a sec. Hello again. Right, Sapphire Dragon is where we're at. And I started this in February with Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. And it is by Anastasia Usova. Hopefully I've said that right. And this is where we're at now. Which way around is this? I think it's this way. Well, the Needlemind is this way up, so... Oop. That is... I'm doing this over 28 count. It is full coverage. It is just round. Because it is over 28 count, I think it's going to be a good travel project. Back and forth to London, so I think this may get a fair bit of progress because of that. Well, it does have a lot of blends, which are fun. I do actually like blends. I like stitching with it. I like how it looks. I'm just weird. So yeah. And that is done on 28 count. I think it's a printed fabric. Does it have it written on the side for me? No, I cut that off, didn't I? Let me have a look. I think it's Glacier or something. This is why I've written these things down. Oh, I haven't written it in. Okay. That doesn't work unless you write it down, does it? That's that one. And I am 3%, and I put 631 stitches into that this year. Next one, I started on the 20... I started for the leap year, in the hope that I will finish it by the next leap year. I'm not sure how likely that is. But anyway, I started The Castle by Teresa Winsler, my first Teresa Winsler. Hopefully not my last. This is what it will look like when it's finished. Not sure how far I am through. Probably hardly anything at all. I am converting this just to make it even more difficult. And I put 750 stitches into this. Which way round does this go? Must be this way. Yep. So I'm doing it on a bit of colour changing fabric to hopefully simulate the sky and the sea. So you can see that. Let me just hold that up. There we go. So it looks like that. Let's take the castle bit off. There we go. So lovely piece of fabric, although it's a bit where the sky and sea start end is a bit ambiguous, but that's okay. And I have got to this point. So this is that's the wall behind the dragon. And is it a wall? No, it's mountains, isn't it? Mountains behind the dragon, yep. And this is my conversion. Part of the conversion was I took from someone else, can't remember their name, but it was published on the Teresa Winsler Facebook group. And the rest of it I am converting as I go. Hopefully I've written it down. Let me just check now, because I can't remember what I did. Oh, that's good. No. Hopefully I've written down somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. That's a problem for another time. So yeah, I should get some more stitches onto that one. I am enjoying it, although it will be complicated. And my lovely Kaylee's Tent stitch dragon bag. And then for my next dragon start, I started Planet Dragons, which is by Rob Carlos. This is another Heaven and Earth. Oh, I have two Heaven and Earth. And I started that in the beginning of April 2024. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. Planet Dragons. Yep, here we go. It is, as you would expect, dragons on planets. Or they are the planet. It's unclear. Anyway, I started in the middle with Jupiter Dragon. And I asked Sam from Chromatic Alchemy to do give me a lovely background. It looks like that, so I could skip the background. And that came out beautifully. So I do really like this one. I really love stitching on it. I'm going to say that for everything. I probably have said it for everything. This is where I'm at. Almost one wing of Jupiter Dragon. Yep. It's full coverage, so hopefully we'll get more stitches next year. But it is a newish one, so possibly not. So yeah, this year I did 2,047 stitches on this. Yep. And I'm at 2%. Okay, the next one I started, another dragon one. I started one of Dragons and Apples by, I think her name is Maria, by Quaternion Creations or Quarter Iron Creations. And that is, let's just have a drink, sorry. That's better. This is what it will look like when it's finished. Yep, it's this one. I think I showed this one in my last floss tube. And I have done 914 stitches into this one. So that's what it looks like now. So that is the middle dragon. Yeah, it is lovely. And I'm doing this 1/1, 25 count. I'm pretty sure it's Chromatic Alchemy. Yeah. Could be another travel stitch. But we have to concentrate on the older ones. Although I can't see myself taking Fantasy Dragon on the train. I think that'll do my eyes aren't good enough for that. The train light isn't strong enough. Yeah, that's that one. And then I started the first one of the year that didn't have a dragon in. Moths and the Moon by Tiny Modernist, and I'm stitching this with Susanna. This is what it will look like when it's finished, if I can just find it. Here we go. And I have put 1,400 stitches into this one. And I have done 2 moths, I think. 2 and a bit moths. And I'm doing this 1/1, 25 count on something by Chromatic Alchemy. Let's just put that a bit closer for you. There you go. Ooh. It's very, very clever how she puts so much detail into very few pixels. Yeah. Lovely. I might finish that next year. I'm 22% through, so it could be finished. Then I started Golden Dragon with Butterfly, which I finished. Let me find it in my tin of finishes. No. Oh dear, I hope it is in here. Oh, here it is. Right, cool. Haven't quite decided how I'm fully finishing this, but here it is. I did a total of 2,000. No, did I? Yes, 2,370 stitches on that. I think I was going to give it as a gift, but possibly I didn't finish it in time. I might finish that into a teacup and turn it into a pincushion. I think that's my current plan. I haven't quite got there yet. So that's that one. Then I started a stitch for Matt, and it is by the Witchy Stitcher. That's No Moon. You can still... Oh, sorry. Golden Dragon with Butterfly is by Alexandra Zamorina, and that's by SA Stitch. I think it's still available on Etsy. Right. I did That's No Moon by the Witchy Stitcher. That is a finish. So here it is. And I finished it off with some glow-in-the-dark Star Wars fabric, because that's what I had. And I replaced the stars with beads. Hopefully you can see that. Can you? Yeah, there we go. I need to find a place to hang that up before it gets lost. Right, so I started that one in July 2024, this year, and then I started a new Chatelaine. Oh, on the same day. Gosh, that was a busy day. And I started Chinese Dragon Gate. This is Susie's fault. She won it, and so we started it together. I don't know how far she's got. I haven't seen hers for a while. Right, this is... let me show you what it's going to look like when it's finished. Chinese Dragon Gate. It'll look something like this. It's not a BAP, but it is almost one. Sorry, I call a BAP anything that's 200 by 200 or above. And I got this far. You will have seen this in my last... Oh, dragon is in the way. He's holding onto the needle very carefully though. So yeah, I got this far, and I don't know how far that is through because Chatelaines don't go very well into markup, and well, I mean, not bad, but there are a lot of different pages, and it says I'm approximately 3% of the way through, which is possibly true. So, yep, it's that one. I am. Oh, the colours amazing. I'm loving the colours. This is. I have substituted pretty much everything. Is not the right thing. I should be stitching it with, apart from the DMC. That is correct. I have eyeballed the substitutions and gone with it. That's that one. Then I started and finished another dragon piece for a friend. I showed you this one last time. This is by Lola Crow. Is it Lola Crow? Yes. And it is What the Cat Saw. What the Cat Saw, yes. Here we go. One of her series of cats looking out of windows at events. So I started and finished this one. Gave it to my friend. And then I started and finished in September. Is that September? Yes, beginning of September. I started another fairy, similar to the fairies with Zarya. Where did I put this under? Did I put it under? Oh no. Is it under this one? No. Oh, I think I haven't got it. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, okay. Anyway, it was a dragon with a hedgehog. I showed it in some previous floss tube. Sorry about that. So yeah, I started and finished that one. I put 3,836 stitches into that. Oh, that's more than I expected. And then I started some Christmas ornaments, which was September, end of September, 28th of September. I did dragons with Christmas hats. This was a series of 6 by Climbing Goat. Climbing Goat, yes. Dragons with Christmas hats. I showed you this one last time. Oh, I've lost it. Too many things beginning with dragons. With Xmas hats. Here we go. That is what it looked like, and I have one. I gave the rest away, and I kept the stripiest one. So, and it has a 2024 tag on. I'll show you that. Oh, camera. There you are. And dragon fabric on the back, and he is happily hanging on my Christmas tree. Then I started a secret stitch, which I can't tell you about until I've given it away, which is next year. And then I started Krampus. So Lola Crow put out these Christmas monsters, which I bought. I don't often buy mystery stitches, but I knew it would be great, and it is. So I started and finished Krampus. Oh yeah, I've got this here. And so here he is. Oop. Yeah, there we go. I did that 1/125 count. She does have some quarterish half stitches in there, but it wasn't too bad. And I put a little 2024 tag on, and I switched the snow for beads. And I don't have any creepy Christmas fabric, so I put a robin on the back. So after a lot of no dragons, I started a dragon stitch for my birthday in November. Magnificent Wizard. My Only Dimensions kit. Magnificent Wizard, where are you? Oh, well, anyway, I have a picture here. That is what it's going to look like. Yep. And I have a measly start with 325 stitches. Sorry, Wizard. On the dragon's tum. And I showed you this. My last floss tube. Oh, I don't know which way that goes up. The needle minder is that way, so probably that way. And that is as far as we've gotten. There are already blends. No lots of stitches over. I don't think this one has like 6 threads through a hole on this one. But there are definitely blends. There is that one. And it is almost full coverage. Or is it all? No, there are little bits of it that are not. But it's pretty much full coverage. And it's quite large. So that's that one. And I have, well, 0% through it apparently. But fair enough. And I don't really know because it's paper pattern. Then I started some tiny ornaments, which I showed last time. So from a dragon alphabet that Susie gave me from World of Cross Stitch. So I did a ornament for my nephew, Little Dragon. Before you say it, yes, dragons are implicitly Christmassy. They're, well, and for life. So why not? And I also realised I didn't have a Zarya one for my tree, so I started and I have finished that one, but I haven't fully finished it yet. So there is that one's the cutest. Oh no, I haven't fully finished. No, I have. It's just that Z looks like it's not finished, but it is. Do you know, I'm going to check that. Oh, I was pretty sure I had finished it. Okay, we will check. I'm counting it as a finish though, for now. And then my final last one that I have started this year on the 27th, so a couple of days ago, was another of the Lola Crow's ornaments, and I have almost finished it. I think I have about 99 stitches left. I don't think that I put in the finished, what it'll look like when it's finished. No, I didn't. But it's practically finished, so you can just see. And is La Befana. And there she is, flying through the sky. I went for blue this time rather than black, because there is some black stitches on it, and you couldn't see on Krampus. So you can't quite see, but apparently La Befana flies down the chimney, drops presents for all the good children, and for the bad children she leaves garlic and onions. There's an onion and some soot, and there's her broom is covered in soot coming off the back there. And I think she's just throwing presents. I don't know why there are mice. Just because? Anyway, they're very cute. At the moment they just have heads and no body. Yeah, obviously needs finishing. So yeah, that is the end of my WIP finish parade for 2024. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. I know that there are millions of WIP parades going on at the moment, so very much appreciate you taking the time to watch mine. And oh, it's about an hour and a bit. So yeah, I don't think I'll stop waffling because yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. I hope you have a lovely new year, whatever it is, however you want to celebrate that. I'm just going to be on the sofa under a blanket, watching some TV, possibly cross-stitching. You know, I know how to party. And I will see you all next year. Bye.